Good evening. I hope you had a wonderful day of worship. We are in 1 Corinthians 7, and it's all about love, marriage, and being unmarried. And Paul, he was single, and he said, look, I wish all of you all can stay single and be at peace. But if you can't contain yourself because you're in a relationship, you're also attracted to each other, and you can't keep your hands off of one another, then it's better to get married than to burn in desire and lust, right? And that's what he opens up the chapter with. And he said, avoid fornication. Fornication, again, is any type of sexual act outside of marriage. Okay. So he talks about all this. You're not supposed to withhold anything from each other once you're married, right? Your body becomes hers and vice versa. And you're supposed to get permission if you all go some time without having relations. Okay. So that's pretty clear. Now, in verse 32, he gives a reason why. He's like, I wish y'all could be like me, right? Just happy, full of joy. Someone said that to me today, like, man, Michelle, why does it, look like you're just so, on cloud nine, They were like, man, is that vegan lifestyle? And I'm like, no, first of all, I do not consider myself a vegan. What do I consider myself, son? A Daniel denier. Meaning I just follow that Daniel fast from the first chapter. And I just love, eating vegetables, fruit, and not eating animal. But that's just my conviction. There's nothing wrong with eating meat. I still feed him meat, but then he likes the vegan dishes that he sometimes have. But verse 32, Paul says, this is the reason why Paul encourages, if you're unmarried, consider that a gift. And if you're married, that's just as much as a gift, because he said, when you are unmarried, you careth pretty much about the things of the Lord. All that's on your mind is how to please the Lord. Whereas when you're married, you're trying to please your spouse, rightfully so, because marriage is a gift, right? What do you think about that, son? And especially because, he's in a friendship, and hopefully they stretch it out for at least 6 years, right? He's 17, I think early mid-20s would be nice. But what do you think about that? Marriage being a gift and starting out early. Well, I'll say this in verse 14, this is another gift that Paul says the unbelieving husband is sanctified by his believing wife and vice versa. So just because, your spouse might not be living the life of Christ, don't snip, snap, and cut them off, because your lifestyle, your godliness, your influence is infiltrating your home, and your children are blessed by that. I had that in my bloodline. Both of my grandmothers were stalwarts. They were pillars, and they affected, I think both of them had 9 or 10 and a dozen children. And because of the lifestyle that the women lived in their home, the children were blessed, and therefore the grandchildren, right, me, reaped the benefits. And then their husbands came to the Lord afterwards. So never underestimate the power of God. What do you have to say about that, son? Nothing yet as far as marriage. As far as believing wife, as far as till death do you part, a gift. What do you think about getting married one day?
I think that's...
Or reaping the benefits of a godly home?
I think that's how life's supposed to be.
You think life's supposed to be like that?
Yeah.
That's God's plan.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the
whole
plan.
purpose.
That's the whole purpose, right? Adam and Eve. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So pretty much, it's a beautiful institution. God wants the glory. Whether you are married, that's a gift. And know that God can do anything within that institution. And if you are satisfied, strong, and single, know that God can keep you in that state. And hey, he can do anything within the situation. Just know that he wants the glory in your life, whatever status you are. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Oh my goodness, it's Oscars night. But I hope you just enjoy fellowshipping and enjoy whatever state you're in. Good night.